Welcome to the Creative Playing Podcast Network. Join us as we share our favorite RPGs, one-shot games, tabletop games, reviews of items, and convention panels, and other exciting things that we run into from time to time. Sit back and enjoy the show.
Hi, this is Kelly, aka Trixie from Ragnarok and Roll, assigned to Ragnarok Story, and Tilda Wimblewick from D&D Journey of the 5th Edition. First off, I would just like to say thank you to everyone for listening to our varied adventures, as well as for rating us on iTunes and RPGpodcast.com. If you haven't rated us yet, we would greatly appreciate it if you could. And if you're looking for more ways to support our efforts, we are now on Patreon, a great site where you can help us continue making more podcasts, as well as some special surprises for our patrons. If you can, please look us up at www.patreon.com/cppn. Every little bit helps. And again, thank you for listening.
Hey guys, Jim and Kelly with Creative Playing Podcast Network. Hello! We are here at August the 30th. The first day of CocoCon in Phoenix. The second to last day of RPGaDay 2019. Kind of sad. You know how I enjoyed these.
Yes.
Wish we would have had more of the group together, but that would have been just nice. But CocoCon, gonna be fun. Lots of writers, lots of cool things, lots of gaming going on. By the way, CocoCon has a gaming panel. They alternate all games all day. I'm gonna get some photos and stuff. I'll just share that on the Facebook page. That's facebook.com/Creative Playing Podcast Network. So, now that I've thrown out that Facebook connection, do you know what the word of the day is?
No, actually, I do not.
It is connection.
Connection.
Connection. It's a very deep word. Lots of metaphoric levels there.
Yeah. Of course, for connection, I would have to say the connection between the players.
Mm-hmm.
You know, for the gaming group. That connection is key. You get a character or a player whose character and the player themselves do not connect with the others in that group.
Mm-hmm.
It can bring the entire group down.
It can end the campaign.
It can totally end the campaign because there's one person who's basically sucking the fun out of it. Just because either they're just difficult to deal with, or they got to be the star, or they don't want to do what the rest of the group is doing. They're not on board. Mm-hmm. Then why are you there?
Because I want to be the
I want to be the character that they're insisting on playing a character that is, you know, antisocial, hermit. Why bother being an adventurer? Go live in a cave somewhere, you know. So it's like, I know that the player has this idea of the character in their mind, but that character is not meshing with the rest of the group. Mm-hmm. And that can kill a party. You know?
No, you're absolutely right.
And if that player is, you know, or just being difficult, it can just stop a group.
I've had conversations with players when they've like popped out here's my character concept. And I'm like, so you say, oh, my special snowflake. That way I'm not using names. I love your character concept. It's not good for this game. Because honestly, this character concept is amazing and I love it. And I totally will write a game for this character concept. If you put them on the back burner, we'll use them later. But right now, this session 0 is for this plotline, storyline, and while I love the idea of your cool Lone Wolf McQuaid, Wolverine mashup, who's like Batman, it doesn't work with the Justice League.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of those if you have to get that synergy and connection with each other of okay, so you're saying your character is the loner who will always be away from the group. How does that connect to the group in the dungeon? Now, it could be you're that douchey rogue that was basically given a choice, hanging or joining the adventure party as their scout. Totally could be a thing, but you know, you need to make sure your character has a connection with the group, even if it's something like, ha ha ha, I make snarky comments now as a player. make sure you connect with your fellow player to make sure this character connection is okay before you use it, because it could cause more problems. That, ha ha ha, my rogue is pulling the pigtails of this other character constantly. You know, your classic Gimli Legolas, where they're constantly fighting. But, of course, like all good players, connect with your other player and make sure, hey, dude, I got this idea. I want our characters to hate each other, but kind of respect each other in a secret way. So that way, the group gets to see. And by the way, if you ever do that and have the private connection with the GM and the two players know that they do this, but the rest of the party doesn't, you can get some amazing role-playing at the table where the rest of the group's like, and the GM just winks to the party to roll with it. So those type of connections are great in a game. And make sure that as a group, you do have synergy in that connection. Because the whole idea is, in almost any RPG, you are a unit working together. You can either be the Dirty Dozen tripping over each other, and I think a bunch of them die in the first and second movie, or you can be...
The bunch of them die at the end of the first movie.
Or you can be this crack team like the Avengers, that even though they have growing pains in the first Avengers movie, by the second Avengers movie, they're so smooth and connected that even though they snark at each other, they have cool team tactics they do together. You know, it could be Captain America doing the aid action, giving Iron Man the advantage when he reflects a magic missile off the shield. Even though you don't need to roll an attack for magic missile. We'll say freezing ray. You know, so that way you have those levels of connections built up. But yeah, I agree. Connections in the player group, in the player character group, because those are two separate groups. You know, one is the people, one is the players.
Exactly.
And as a gaming group as a one. Because, you know, when you have that connection as a group, things happen amazingly. You know, you get the trust of the GM, that the players trust what the GM says when they make a call. No ifs, ands, or buts. Cool, let's roll with it and go. Or when the player has that connection with the GM where you can go, but kinda, don't you think this might be able to happen? And the GM would be like, you know what? Yeah, since you really want to have it happen, Rule of Cool says yes, it does. You know, because there's a lot of times your GM doesn't have that connection with the player, and when they try to do the whole finagle, pull a fast one, it comes out as a fast one and not them saying, hey, I think this might be a thing. What do you think? But as for connection, for me, I'll throw out there that an important part of gaming is not only your connection with your players in and out of the game, because you should honestly be communicating out of game. Like Kelly, unfortunately, doesn't do Facebook, so she misses most of the Facebook chats that go on with our gaming groups, though I screenshot a lot and share. So make sure you're connecting with your gaming group, because it's good to know, like, if you can't make it to a game because you're sick a couple days before, warn them so we can make alternate ideas. Or you can also do game stuff out of game. Like, say you guys ended off you're in the town and you've got a week to kill. So what's the out of game action you're doing? And in text, you can communicate to the group that, hey, I'm doing this. And then somebody says, cool, I want to tack on that and I'll do this. And they do teamwork on stuff. You know, so you get that great connection in and out of game. And, unless you had something to throw in there.
No.
Okay. And make sure you connect with other gaming groups and your gaming community. Because, like, there's the D&D Facebook group, since I've already shamelessly plugged our Facebook group, that the D&D Facebook group where a lot of new GMs are saying, hey, it's my first game tomorrow night, what advice do you have? And it's beautiful, because, like, half the GMs are all saying just have fun.
Yeah, because you've always promoted the whole GMs, getting together with other GMs.
Yeah. GM support groups is a major one, because you can get these GMs together who like mash ideas out of, like, okay, my brain is mentally exhausted, I'm on E. This is what's happening, what do you think? And the nice thing with GM on GM conversations is you can actually tell the dirty little secrets that you can't tell your players, but you can soundboard somebody else's ideas.
And you can help them improve their games with different perspectives.
And it's cool because you can give another GM an idea that's alien to them but common to you, but his gaming group knows nothing about it, so all of a sudden the GM has some cool, magnificent idea they never saw, because much like the Day of Surprise, they go, we never thought you would have thought of that, and then they're like, hey, I thought of it this morning, and you do the evil Dr. Evil finger. And that way you can try different angles and things. It's like, sometimes, you can connect with the group and just say, hey, guys, I made the horrible mistake of giving my group this magic item. I don't want to be an asshat and take it from them because that's cheap, which it really is. But this happens more often than not, that either I've given them too much technology, cash, a ship, something cool, Kratos' armor in Star Wars, which is ridiculous. Don't ever give your players that because you throw thermal detonators at them and hurt them. Things like that get GM to the point of he's just like, screw it, let's burn the forest down to kill the adventurers. Talking to other GMs can give you ideas and refresh your fuel, They can re-inspire your idea machine of the, dude, okay, you got one guy in indestructible armor. Cool. Have you ever thought of sinking him in quicksand?
Take the armor off in order to survive.
Would you like to die or ditch your indestructible armor and come back later for it? So there's always workarounds that you can come up with. You give a player too much money. Great. You know how many medieval cities, when you walk in the door, the tax collectors there already start taxing anything you're walking into town with? Is that a Vopal sword there? I currently value that at 100 million gold coins. Do you have 10,000 gold coins for your taxes to import that? Because for all I know, you're coming here to sell it. So there's ways of resource depletion.
Yeah, but then you're getting taxed on both ends, and that's not fair.
How are they taxed on the front end?
Because
in hit points. Again, we go back to resource management. So it's one of those of make connections with folks out there. Even if you want to play a game and a table group doesn't have a slot, make a connection with that gaming group, because that means when they do have an open seat, you might get that seat to come play. If you're a GM that's so tired of running and never playing, talk to other GMs and say, God, I'd love to get in on a
spot open on your game. Can I jump in on it?
Yeah, and that's a great way of making connections.
Also, of learning different
game styles. Play styles. Also, too, you can get a new GM and you'd be like, hey, dude, do you want me to sit in on a game session or two? And then I'll give you my feedback that your players know nothing about. And then I just tell you, hey, guys, sorry, schedule change. I can't make it to another game. So that way I get to sit, hang, get some gaming in, and then back off and leave another beautiful GM feeling strong and powerful and evolving from a Bulbasaur to whatever comes next. The big scary turtle with the big cannons. So that way they become a better GM because they actually feel safe that someone has validated my GM. Because as a GM, a lot of time you have that actor's performance and that buyer's remorse of the, oh my God, this sucked, they hate me, they're horrible, they all left quiet. Now, granted, we had such a great session, they're all stunned and shocked that they made it through this thing, but the GM is thinking, dude, I fucking phoned that in, I suck, I'm a horrible human being, I wasted their life.
Well, and also depending on where you live, you may not have
That's true.
a whole lot of people
in the gaming circle.
So then you can make connections through online ones like Roll20, and that type of thing can help.
And you can game online, at least get a whoosh of gaming and influence. So that way you can get a taste of gaming, or hell, just watch YouTube videos or Twitch accounts and get to enjoy vicariously their gaming feel.
Exactly.
And hey, then you can get online and make comments. And more importantly, you can thumbs up and make that thumbs up connection, because that's how other people get connected to that type of deal. So social media, social media is your friend. Don't be a troll, because only D&D players will tell you acid and fire kill trolls. No one wants to get burned like that. Don't be a troll, but give feedback, share what you love, make connections within connections. I mean, that's what Facebook was first for, is connecting with people. Twitch, Twitter, Instagram.
Cultivate an attitude of gratitude as well.
Oh, the attitude of gratitude. I haven't heard that one in a while. I like that.
Just because there's a lot, it's easy to go to the negative.
Yeah.
It really is.
Just go to Reddit.
I'm a born pessimist, I'm like, but I try to see the positive. And when you're making connections with people, focusing on the positive makes for a better connection.
Mm-hmm. Makes for a more honest connection. I mean, like I always tell everyone on social media.
Not honest, but a better connection.
thumbs up, happy face, share good thoughts, give congratulations. If it's something negative that you're just going to add venom to, just swipe by. Just continue on. Don't donate part of your life that you'll never get back to the negative part.
Don't feed the trolls.
Yeah. As Professor Elemental would say.
has a song. Stop. Please don't feed the trolls.
And yes, you should listen to that song. It's on YouTube, I'm sure. And give him a thumbs up because he likes that.
And he's an awesome person.
Yes. And again, another connection. Because if you go to conventions, you can make connections too. Conventions are great for making new friends, making new connections. You get lifelong friends. Even if you only see each other once or twice a year, they're lifelong friends. You've made that connection. You've got con face.
Yeah.
From across the room, I see you and I come running to give you a hug. Con face. I forgot your name, but I know your face.
I know. We've gamed together, right?
Yes, yes. Hey, had that just the other night at the event, Hey, you were in my game. I'm like, yes, I was, and you had a great time running that game. It's good to make those connections. You can be at a convention and then somebody say, honey, it's Runehammer from Drunks and Dragons. I'm like,
oh my God!
Yeah, we were hanging out earlier today, baby. I promised them a drink. Because he's great people. So these are the connections that we make. That's why we game. I mean, if we didn't want to make connections, we would be playing single-player games on our PS4s at home and not
reading books.
Or reading books. Even then, you make a connection with the writer.
Yeah, but you're not making connections with other people.
Sure.
That's just connecting with the story, and that's the same thing as if you were playing a first-person shooter or something, or just a game
in general. Yeah. So I challenge you all to go out there before the end of next month and connect 4. Basically, go out and connect with 4 different people, which means just running one game or playing a new game with a group of 5 people, and there's your Connect 4. You've connected with 4 new human beings, even if it's just a one-time connection.
And that's a fun game, too.
Connect 4. Yeah. Totally a fighting game. Alrighty, guys, it's almost the end of the month.
I am going to be shutting the gate for the most part.
Okay, we're packing up now.
Okay, because John can reopen it.
Okay.
But I'll wait till you're done.
Okay, we're packing up now. So I guess we'll save the last for later. The 31st is last. We will save the best for last. Thank you for listening to the Creative Play and Podcast Network. And feel free to enjoy our other shows, such as D&D Journey of the 5th Edition and Scion Ragnarok and Roll, a Scion hero to Ragnarok story. Thank you for listening.
On the battlefield, I'm a warrior, ready to kill or be killed. I've defeated orcs from the north, sent Kandorian demon spawns back to the depths, and drank with Cimmerian heroes. But when I get back from a hard day of disemboweling my enemies, I enjoy nothing more than to open my castle doors and find a dungeon crate as my reward for blood well spilled. Designed for role players and tabletop gamers, Dungeon Crate is a monthly subscription box service with a treasure hoard of loot you can use on or off the battlefield. Miniatures, dice, tokens, coins, maps, modules, terrain pieces, handcrafted items, RPG jewelry, and more are yours for only a few gold per month. You even get a digital crate along with a physical one as an added bonus. So what say you? Are you ready for postal glory? Oh boy. DungeonCrate.com. Let the adventure begin.